Peace, blessings, love, and light. It's your girl, Divinely Guided D, and I'm back for season 3, episode 8 of Young, Famous, and African. This is the last episode of season 3, and I'm so grateful. I have honored my commitment. Yes, y'all, a whole season. Okay, 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 okay. Get serious. All right. Episode 8 it's called Breakup and Makeup. So the episode picks up with Louis and Innie. I said, I agree 100% with Zari that they are both wrong. So, Zari mentioned how, let me see, I don't remember verbatim, and I probably shouldn't be looking this up right now because I already have a whole other notes. But if you saw this and you understand, right? So, the way things were communicated, that's what Zari was saying that they both were in the wrong, and I'm gonna leave it at that because I'm fishing for details that I don't remember. All right. I said, well, I wrote, Naked and Kaylee need to break up. I said that at the beginning of the episode because that's really how I felt. I felt like she was being strung along, as in Kaylee. I think that even though they have mutual friends, Kaylee and Quentin Naked. Sorry. Even though they have mutuals, right? It is so obvious that that all of them agree that Kaylee's time is being wasted. Oh, my knees, y'all. Okay. Zari said Kaylee needs to listen to her intuition. Nadia has been like, I don't understand why this man can't see why she's unhappy. Who else? Any. What was it? Just the last episode. Let me check my notes because I wrote this down. So I'm a. If he doesn't want to be married, Kaylee is barking up the wrong tree. And that was a previous episode. So Annie just came amongst the tribe apparently, but even she can notice that don't force that man's hand if you don't want it, girl. So that's why I put it. But if you saw the whole episode, I won't spoil it right now. The sequence of events if you are just listening to this for the review, right? So I said Naked and Kelly need to break up. Kefi, Inni, next scene. Kefi, Inni, and Nadia meet up for lunch. And then it is brought up that Kefi's marriage is on the blogs. Kefi has been in LA because that is what she does. Hold on, I just want to adjust it. Okay. I don't know if that made much of a difference. Anyway. And Kefi was in LA because she's a travel vlogger. I like that she does that type of work. But I'm not gonna lie, Kefi did not win me over by the end of this episode. Um Any discusses her perspective on being triggered by Louis, and I think that Annie was overreacting. But I think that she unintentionally overreact. And I say unintentionally because we don't always know when we're going to be triggered. We just know that certain things, we are sensitive about certain topics because of our own personal experience or someone that we know who had a connection to it. And maybe we had to see them through that. So we just know that that's not something that we want to be a part of or really touch on. For any, surrogacy is a touchy subject for her. And while it is a touchy subject for her, it's not a touchy subject for every woman who, or any, not even just woman, um, just for any parent or anybody that has been involved, whether that's the paternal, maternal figure, the woman that's carrying, um, it doesn't affect everybody the same way, but I do agree with any that that's not usually the first choice that someone has if they're able to create life on their own or by the natural way. Um, but I think that she overreacted. She said he's lost the right to be in my space. I respect that because you don't owe anybody really much an explanation as to why you don't really want to be around them, especially if they know that they had overstepped somehow, right? Um so that was that. I didn't really want to harp too much on that because I like Nadia, but I think let me leave it at that. Because I was gonna say maybe that she may be too on the higher frequency to be around especially Cuffy. Any is okay. Any is fine. I think it was just because she that triggered her. Lord have mercy. Anything else? Any has really been pretty decent. I think it's just that surrogacy because it was very personal. I get it. Okay, Kanye pops up to speak with Naked, and I put I love how clean and serene the vibe just felt. She pulled up, and granted, I know that sometimes they take a few takes, and I don't know what time of night or morning this was, but I liked it. Every time Kanye comes on the screen, is a sense of calmness. My first time seeing Kanye was in a movie, and it was her. It was one of those I thought it was empowering. And then she had it was three group of friends, and she was married. Kanye wasn't married in the movie, but her but she was sleeping around. Not sleeping around. She had an affair. She was having an affair with another man while her husband used to go out of town. And this man, I don't remember if he was an artist or something. But it was a good movie. So if anybody remembers, let me know. I believe it was on Netflix. Maybe that was on Prime. I like Kanye. She gives a very calm vibe. I really do. I put I'm glad Naked has Kanye and Kanye has Naked. And I said I think Kanye may be an empath. So one thing about I've learned about being an empath and being one myself is that we're very we got to be mindful of the energies that we have around and how much those energies may um drain you. I think that Kanye has been drained with what has been going on with the show, other things in her personal life, and it was too much to absorb. I kept hearing burnout, and then she didn't talk to Naked for 3 months. And I think that when Naked asked her whether she was really happy or not in those photos that he would see of her on social media, I think that Kanye may not be 100% or may not have been 100% happy because she was experiencing burnout, but I think she was more at peace that she didn't have to engage so much with production and the heaviness of the group and all of the emotional needs. And I like Annie, but Annie and her relationship problems and why she just doesn't want to, or why she didn't want to accept things for what they were, because now we know what's happening, or at least the vlogs have picked up on something that's going on in that household or not going on in that household, right? And what else is going on there in the group? Naked is a friend, but it's like after this conversation, you can kind of see where she takes on a lot, and sometimes as an empath, it's like you tend to be the go-to. Everybody needs an answer. And most of the time, you're the closest thing that they feel they can go to for the said answer, even if it's um, detrimental to your health and your peace of mind, because a lot of people will only go to you when they need something or because they see that you seem more grounded, but they forget that, hey, I get overwhelmed too, and at some point you should sort out whatever you need to sort out without feeling like I have to do it for you. That's a disservice to me and is disrespectful. And I think that Kanye did the right thing protecting her energy. And because of contractual obligations, she's obviously, well, I don't know what the contract is, but I'm assuming, right? I'm assuming that she's completing her contractual obligations. And I like that she's selective of where this energy is going. Because I think if she would have been in one of those the bigger group events, I don't think it would have done good for her. I don't know if she has anxiety, but I wouldn't be surprised. Most of us tend to have some type of diagnosis. Um, so keep in mind that just because someone has a diagnosis, it doesn't make them any less intelligent or any less in tune with what's going on with the environment. If anything, it could be because of the environment that they had the diagnosis. Okay? And she had burnout. Okay. So they get to the conversation about Naked and his relationship with Kaylee. And Kanye asks, don't you think you are protecting yourself too much? And Naked eventually admits he fears failure. Excuse me. Um, and I wrote down what Kanye told him when he asked, what did he get from Kaylee, right? What does he have? Kanye says, you have a healthy, able bodied, beautiful woman with no children, no history of marriage, who's willing to cross the cultural floor to come into your space, leave her house, her life, and come into your space with your son. People today are not this tolerant. Relationships are not that durable. That's your person, man. Um, Naked ponders, and then after a while, Kanye is like, "So where to now?" Naked states, "If I knew that she would be happy, I would give her anything." Kanye says, "But why don't you give her everything and see what happens?" And there are two sides to this, and I disagree with Kanye. I'm not giving everybody everything. I'm not giving you everything of me, and I'm not even sure of how I even feel about you. Like, no, no. He can't give her everything, obviously, if something doesn't feel right for him. And this is how sometimes we fall under social pressures, right? So we learn that Kanye and Naked made some type of pact, a vow that they'll wait until they know, until they were sure. Um, Kanye said I would have been married by now. So the fact that she says that, sometimes people project their fears onto us, and it's up to us to decide when we are no longer afraid. And sometimes your clock may not work as the same as the your person, I mean your friend or whomever is around you, right? So everybody's timeline is different. Kanye seems to have worked through a lot of her shadow work. Or yes, has is transformation is never just one thing, right? Or just in one way or one day, 1 hour. So it is okay to get advice, but we ultimately have to be okay with that, with the decisions that we make. You have to be able to live with the choices that you make. All right. Um, let me see. I don't think that he needs to be giving everything if he doesn't even know if the person would be as receptive and vice versa. A woman shouldn't give too much of herself either until she um sees that it's reciprocal. So this is for both men, women, whatever you identify as. Okay. Swanky throws a party. I said beautiful gowns. Beautiful gowns. Um Naked loves how his lady is looking because he said, they're nude. Is running. He really liked it on her. I don't think I've ever heard him talk about her like that, so excited. It was so cute. It was sweet to me. um, I said, and I mean this, y'all can never make me hate Shakib. I said he is so mature and kind spirited. You know, I see why he is with I see why Zari is with him. And despite what people may think about Zari, I don't think she's a bad person. I just think she's just confident. She's just confident, and sometimes she says things that people are not ready to hear. But does that make her a bad person because you're in denial? I'm not gonna answer that. I just wanted to pose the question. Anyway, Kefi shows up and Zari's, let me see. Oh, Kefi shows up and I put Zari's we missed you had me rolling on the floor. That's what it's from the moment that scene started, you knew something was gonna go down. From the moment Zari can pick up on that, when I picked up on that nice nasty vibe, I just knew. I said, Lord said yes. I said it's about to be a mess. This was actually probably my favorite scene of the whole season. Kathy said she was in late. I think I made a mistake and I said she was in LA in the last video. Anyway, oh no, it's not the last video. It was earlier in the video. Lord have mercy. See, I have a lot on my mind because I'm trying to get these out. You know. Okay. So. La, 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 we missed you. We missed you. Oh, I say, I say, I said I like that Louis acknowledged that he's taking it easy on himself because he never intended to be offensive. So intention matters, and people forget this, right? If you know you didn't do anything wrong intentionally, meaning um you didn't purposefully go and try to hurt said person, then you also have to understand that it's okay to give yourself grace because at the end of the day, intention matters. If a um if someone purposely wanted to commit a crime, then by all means lock them up under the jail and stuff like that, right? Because you did that on purpose. You made a conscious decision. This is conscious. You decided that this was an idea that you was willing to see through, right? Whereas in Louis, he was interested in surrogacy before any, yes, before meeting her, right? But when he met her, he saw that she was comfortable talking about it and she was open. Therefore, he didn't think that she would get as offended as she was because this was not the first time that they had the conversation, right? About surrogacy. His intention with inviting her to the event, to the tabling, whatever you want to call it, was because she had experience. And as someone who has experience, that would be the person that you would want to have on a panel if that's the subject matter. And that person has experienced it. I think I said experience a few times already. It might be the call. um, and I like that Louis knows himself enough to know, hey, I hate that I made you upset, but I'm also not gonna beat myself up because I didn't mean to hurt you, and I didn't mean to hurt you. Okay. Sometimes people just want their asses kissed so much, and I'm like, you could kiss mine. Um, once I apologize and you're trying to give me your ass a kiss because you think I'm supposed to beg for your forgiveness, you got me messed up. I think that's disrespectful because at this point now it's not about the apology anymore. It's about making the other person suffer. Why would you want to do that? I thought that you was hurt and you wanted to move on. You wanted the acknowledgement that the person hurt you. But now you're really trying to find ways to be mean, malicious. Okay, I'm back. Heard a little noise. I had to check it out. Okay, let me see. Moving on. Diamond kisses Fantana to make a statement. I guess. I mean, you know how there's just that couple that you roll your eyes at. You're like, there's nothing much to see there. Even though she really has grown on me this season. I know people talk about like how exaggerated how exaggerated her features are, but she cool. She's just like she's just Fantana. You know, after a while, just like that's just so and so. That's just Fantana. You know what I'm saying? Fantana. Shout out to Swanky for introducing us to her like that. Fantana. Hi, Fantana. Okay. Moving on. I put Kathy thought she ate when she was talking to Zari when she addressed her. Kathy, why are you trying so hard to convince us that you was married? Kathy, only you, God, and that man, your husband, ex, soon to be, whomever, only you guys know, okay? In all actuality, whether or not this function happened, okay? Zari was right in that the socials are gonna social, girl. And it's a valid question. How is it a divorce pending for the custom marriage? I don't know. I'm not from there. I just think that she was very disturbed, as in Kefi. She has been very triggered ever since that safari ride. And I think that I get from a businesswoman's perspective how it can be triggering that you pose or you promote a lifestyle, right? You promote a certain lifestyle. Mind you, I haven't gone to see her stuff. Um, let me see. You promote this lifestyle, and maybe to some people she's posed like everything is good, but then let me see. She posed like everything is all good when in actuality, she's not really living that reality. ¿Cómo se llama? Kefi, let me follow her because should I follow her? Yeah, I'll follow her. Kefi, I'm following you, okay? I don't mean to be disrespectful, and I'm not trying to be, and I hope that we can have a healthy virtual log. And okay. Who needs a 3 hour drive in traffic when you can have the scenic route? I like her. Oh, this is cool. I like her. This is 22. Okay. Honestly, she got some decent footage. I like this one. I just like how that makes me feel. She's gonna show up, pop her face. Anyway, but let me see. So I think that she was triggered because she lives this lavish life, and it's like sometimes the people who we decide to be romantically involved with, they can either help us or embarrass us. And I think that it's embarrassing to her everything that was put forth in the social media, and then for her to be on um this platform, and her business is out there, but in a way that puts her in a shisty and deceitful light. And I say shisty and deceitful because until Zari said that was the well, at least on the show, because I didn't know until she mentioned that it was one of those traditional marriages or something like that. You know, not traditional, custom marriage. Unless that was before that was mentioned, you're when you just hear the story, you just think, oh, like somebody who got like married by the law or whatever, and now they're getting a divorce by the law or whatever. It wasn't like, oh, you're a second wife and whatever the case may be, and things don't really work like that when you get married in that way. Let me see. I thought Zara was right. Right. Why are you tripping? Why are you tripping so much to the point where you want to throw a drink? And I do agree with Kaylee. How you respond is a reflection of who you are to what anybody does to you, regardless of what they do. If you're someone that is normally that holds yourself with class, or you don't go low, then you're not gonna go low. And to be honest with you, Keffy, whatever Keffy wanted people to think about Zari, she made herself look like that. Zari was clearly standing right there, and I saw the little specks. Zari had every right to throw a drink at her, girl. But see what happens when I love that Zari said before I got my own. God is good. See, I flipped right to it, and I didn't even. I forgive Annie because her projections are not my reality. Tell me I'm not guided. When I tell you, you know, Zari invokes envy in people who do not know how to sit with themselves, or who do not know who they are, who do not acknowledge their shadow self, right? Who did I say was working on their shadow self? Kanye. Kanye is able to reflect, take accountability, and live in her truth because where's it go? Damn, I lost my shit. Because she lives in her truth. Um, and not to say that what's her name, Keffy wasn't, but remember her job was to sell luxury, sell a lifestyle. You know, Kanye's an actress, yes. Boss lady is boss lady, yes. Oh, what I was gonna bring up was that when someone is content in their lives, they don't have to do this extra dramatic, rah rah stuff, or even have to get their hands dirty. Zari, I don't know. Zari just got married. She got, even though they try to make fun of her zillion kids, and I think that was very rude, Keffy, because don't you have like, didn't you say you have two boys or something like that? And I agree with what Innie said. Girl, please, you might beat her by the time you get to her age. I like when Innie does stuff like this. I'm like, that's why I said, despite her, I think she was just triggered, but Innie is really very smart, very reasonable, and she was right, you know. But because Zari is content in her life. Oh, I was mentioning the kids because even though they talk about having her zillion kids or whatever, Zari's not running away from who she is. Shakib knows she has these kids. Shakib is willing willingly with this woman, as is Zari, right? And then I heard somewhere through the grapevine that I think he has two kids of his own. So let me tell you something. When you know your own truth, nobody can poison you with it. If anything, it's just a smooth shot. I'm telling you, it's when you live in denial that you behave like how Kefi was behaving. That's someone who's not living in the truth. You see the difference between someone who doesn't feel the need to all of that. And before anyone starts to attack Zari, and normally I'm not the biggest fan, but I understand people who tend to be misunderstood, right? So the specs was there, like I said. Zari could have easily thrown the drink. She didn't. Shakib stepped in because she has someone that loves her who doesn't want her to lower herself. And granted, some people might say, oh, men shouldn't get involved in women's business. But at that point, if securities also get involved, then it is what it is. You're not about to get disrespectful. You know what I'm saying? And she still kept on even after that. It's like, girl, I thought this show was supposed to help uplift your whatever it is that you work on, but you didn't use it properly, and I'm gonna leave it at that. Um, whatever you want to say about Zari, she's a boss. Okay. After that, Kaylee decided to leave because I was like, I was like she mentioned, like I mentioned before that she said, I'm getting tired, y'all. I am getting tired, but I'm doing this because I owe it. Um, so they leave because she don't want to be a part of that. Fast forward, they're now back at Naked's home or their home that they shared, which is Naked's house. And I want to say that this is why I mentioned earlier when I said Naked and Kaylee need to break up. I kind of changed my mind towards the end ish. I felt like Naked's proposal was very heartfelt. Um, and I said, you know what? Maybe Naked's one of those people that stands by the pool or the what is it? Stands by the beach on the shore for like forever. That's and says all the reasons why he shouldn't go into the ocean. But then once he actually does goes into the ocean, he will be surprised how great he does. And I think he's one of those where it's like no no no, it's like the panic before the confidence, you know? I think he's one of those, but I do believe that he loves her. I'm not convinced that they should get married. I thought the proposal was heartfelt. I guess I'm still up in the air. All right, moving forward. Ini finally accepts Louis' apology, and I said I hope she means all of this is over, as in it's really all over. And I said, last thing, Louis may find a good slash healthy friendship in Ini. I think with Louis' family not wanting to be involved with him, I think having a friend like Ini will really help him out a lot. Excuse me. I think that Ini can provide him with some insight that he needs from a big sis perspective. And I think that he will be receptive to it. Ini is very strong willed, you know. Louis needs um nurturing, a maternal figure, but also someone who's gonna be a little stern, you know, and she has that. She has that ability. Now, Louis, don't go over there being an energy vampire. I don't think you are. I don't think you are at all. I just had to say it over there, you know. But overall, this season was pretty. It was funny. It wasn't bad. So that was episode 8. And I'll be back. And like always, a girl's here to stay.